Someone had a question. They said, How? How did Adam name the whales and lobsters, basically sea creatures, if they were 40,000 feet below sea level or something to that effect? And these answers are answers that we know. All you've got to do is be familiar with some of the text that we go into. So we can actually put two and two together, and we can just really answer this with just one text. And that text is going to be the Book of Remembrance of Enoch, the Essene book of Haggai. And so if we look in Seth chapter 4 and we read verse 85 and 86, it says, And when Yatsakad, remember Yatsakad is Adam, and when Yatsakad defined the spirit of an element in the form God had made it, Motsa the lamb was bid to enter into that which was encountered by him, and it became also a living soul. And the delight of the Lord to do so was great. And in this way Yatsakad had dominion over the earth, and he was as yet only a little child, and that which was transformed into a living soul by Motsa the lamb, by the dominion of a child, became a part of Eden. So family, we've talked about this before. We've talked about how Olam was transformed into Eden. We understand that Yatsakad, who the Bible calls Adam, we understand that when he named the animals, what he was doing, it wasn't just limited to animals, but he named all of the spirits of life. So he was giving them their rightful definition of created purpose. He was defining them, which actually makes sense, because we may have a word for rabbit and another country may have a word for rabbit. But if we understand that rabbits feel decisive parenting, that feeling is going to be the same whether we're here or across the ocean or on an island or anywhere. The rabbit is going to have the same definition of created purpose, right? So Adam was defining them. That's how he named everything. Remember, a name is a character, right? But also the question was, how did he name these things that were, on the bottom of the ocean, understanding that, that's a place where most humans can't go. But number one, you have to understand that Adam was transforming Olam into Eden. So number one, the landscape would have been very different, because this would have been a landscape that was long before any movement of the tectonic plates. But also understand that walking on underwater or anywhere like that it would not have been a problem, because Adam wasn't breathing the way that we're breathing now. And you say, well, how can you say that? Well, also stay in the book of remembrance of Enoch, and let's go to Seth chapter 1, and let's read verse 10. It says, Now the name Pithak means to be wide open, so a person can see as God sees, and it also means a portal or gateway. And as I looked with Urim, I saw Yatsakad and Kavah, Adam and Eve, enter our world from between those two oaks, and the world that stood before them was new to them, and sensations they had never known before were there for them to feel, and the wind was there to greet them, and they were astonished, for they had never before felt a cool breeze upon their faces. And temporal sounds came into their ears, and they wondered with amazement, and a full account of it shall be given hereafter. So basically, family, the wind wasn't moving in the same way. The spirit of the wind was there in Eden, but there wasn't wind moving like it is now. That means there wasn't this tangible in and out of breathing the way that we think about it right now. You understand? Which means Adam would have been unlimited in where he could go. We also understand that there were some physiological and biological differences that were going on with Adam's body. Adam and Eve, the way they were created, was different from the way that the rest of us would follow in the temporal world. So anyway, I hope that makes sense. I hope that question is answered. And if this question leads to more questions, then so be it. Just put them in the comments. All right. I love y'all. Much love and much shalom.